Andrew Lane. I work at the Guildhall Art Gallery and London's Roman Amphitheatre, which are maintained by the City of London Corporation. And today I'm giving another short talk on an amazing class of artefacts, captivating coins. During the excavations at London's Roman Amphitheatre, a total of around 1,200 Roman coins were found. Most of these are low denomination coins, and they're not in very good condition. So for this talk, I will be focusing on 4 Roman coins from other collections. Well, actually, that's 3 Roman coins and 1 medallion, but they are all connected to Roman Britain. Together, I hope these illustrate both the variety and beauty of Roman coins, but also the important messages they were designed to convey. And the first of these is this wonderful gold aureus of the Emperor Claudius. And Claudius is best known to us as the emperor who decided to invade Britain in AD 43. And a couple of years after the event, he decided to celebrate his victory with a coin. On the obverse of the coin, we have a portrait of the emperor in profile, and on the reverse, we have a picture of a Roman triumphal arch, an arch that was erected in Rome to celebrate this great victory. We can see it's got a small inscription across the front with Britain clearly mentioned. Now, we know that Roman London, Londinium, was founded because of trade. And in previous talks, I've mentioned some of the goods that were moving around the empire. But of course, trade didn't just end at the edge of the Roman world. The Romans were trading with people beyond the empire. And this coin is a great example of that. Because here we have a Roman coin that was minted in Rome, celebrating victory in Britain, but was actually found in India. And we know that the Romans were trading with India for spices and for pepper in particular. The second coin appears to be a silver denarius of the Emperor Claudius, and there were 25 silver denarii to 1 gold aurelius. And again, we have a similar portrait on the obverse, and on the reverse we have a picture of the triumphal arch with the same inscription going across the front. But everything is not as it appears with this coin, because this coin is actually a forgery. Not a modern forgery, but a Roman forgery. It was found in Norfolk, along with other examples, and was probably made in this country. And it's not made of silver, it's made of bronze. And the bronze coin has been dipped into a silver solution to give it that final coating. So it's been made to deceive, and it has very little intrinsic value. So forgeries are nothing new. We find them in the Roman world as well. Now, our third coin moves us into a really interesting period in Romano-British history at the end of the 3rd century, when a general in Britain seized control and created a small breakaway empire. This was Carausius, and he is depicted on the obverse of this silver denarius. And on the reverse, we have a depiction of Britannia, who first appears on coins during the reign of Hadrian. But she's not seated, as we commonly find her, but standing and shaking hands with the new emperor. She's welcoming Carausius to Britain. Now, for most of the Roman period, the coins used in Britain were minted in Rome and sometimes other regional mints. But of course, this wasn't an option for Carausius. So for the first time during his reign, we have coins being struck in Londinium. And this is one example of a coin that was struck here. Now, Carausius was followed by Electus, but after 13 years of the breakaway empire, forces were mustered on the continent and Britain reconquered. And that leads us on to the medallion. Now, a medallion differs from a coin by the fact that it was not produced to be actually used. This is a picture of the Arras medallion, which is made of gold. Actually, it's a copy of the Arras medallion that's in the British Museum. The original is in the Museum at Arras in France. And on the obverse, we have a depiction of the Emperor Constantius I in military uniform, very appropriate. He's just reconquered Britain. And on the reverse, we have again the Emperor on horseback, who is arriving in London by boat. We can just see the galley in the foreground. And to the right, we have a lady kneeling in front of a Roman gate. And this is a depiction, a personification of Londinium. And she is welcoming the new emperor to Londinium. So here we have perhaps the earliest depiction of Londinium. Is it a depiction from life? Probably not. We know that by this time, most Roman cities would have been fortified, and the image we have here is probably a stock image. We also know that this medallion was struck in Trier in Germany, so it's unlikely that the artist will have travelled to Britain, but it's still a really interesting image. So not only are Roman coins and medallions incredibly varied and often very beautiful, but they also carry messages, propaganda on the part of the emperor and the state that reveal a great deal to us about Roman society. I'd like to thank you very much for listening.